evening, everybody. Welcome. Jacques Malot puts it into play for the Wildcats and puts it out of the end zone. And that's where the host, Horizon Hawks, will get the ball first down and 10. Good evening again, everybody. Welcome. 5-Star Stadium, the spot. Amateur Sports Video is the place for all the Arvada West Wildcats action. I'm Matt Cook. Let's get you the starting D here. Along the front, you got Wyckoff, Forcher, Mayer, and Wunderlich for the Wildcats. Your LBs, Lucas, Flora, and Palmer. DBs, Duran and Pyatt. And your safeties, Campbells and Cisneros. Right now, Barry Dunkel brings up the Horizon Hawks. They'll have first down and 10. They're on 20. Handed off. Not much there. In fact, nothing there. Bang. Second down, and I bet you they lost a yard on that one. Well, everybody, we'll take a minute to introduce ourselves. We are Amateur Sports Video and are glad to be bringing you A-West football. Special thanks go out to Matt Dern with the football boosters from the Wildcats, as he's been instrumental in setting up the process for us to be here tonight, and we are glad we are here. Now second down for the Hawks, and they'll have it at their own 19-yard line. Dunkel takes a look at the A-West D. Dunkel hands it off first man through fullback. Good penetration up the middle of the line that time, it looked like. They got to him in the back of the, behind the line of scrimmage, but they'll give him forward progress for about a half a yard. Well, Horizon, of course, over the last couple of years has been in the perennial in the playoffs. And this year might be a bit of a down season for him. Barry Dunkel, the junior quarterback, 6'2", 185. Of course, A-West made it all the way to the state finals last year before losing to that team from Greenwood Village. Dunkel keeps himself. Dunkel spins across the 20. Finally dragged down from behind by the Wildcats. The Wildcats off to a good start this year, coming off a heartbreaker to Mullen last week, and they will look to rebound in appropriate fashion against the Hawks. Hawks now third down. Check that fourth down. Punting situation. Ball is on their own 29, and the punt will happen from the 15. Hyatt and Duran are back deep for the Wildcats. And that's going to be handled by Duran. Duran comes across midfield at the 45-50. Good cut inside 45. Still on his feet, keeps his feet all the way down to the Hawks' 31-yard line. Matt Duran, nice little run there on the return. And that is, check that, Mike Duran. One of the great things about the Wildcats I noticed last week in the Mullen game is their special teams truly are special. These guys get it done all over the place. Well, your offensive line is Bowers, Guthrie, Kim, Rule, and Andrade. We'll get you the rest of the A-West starters as we go. Steve Cutlip, of course, the quarterback for the Wildcats. Hawks want to take time out to talk things over. Your wides, Creighton, Phillips, and Craco. As Cutlip wants to pass, he's got Eric Nelson, the running back, 30, 25, 20. Right up the sideline he goes. Touchdown, Eric Nelson. Oh, my. That's exactly what the A-West Wildcats wanted to do. Put that game last week behind them, and they do it courtesy of Eric Nelson out of the backfield. Takes a little swing pass from Cutlip right up the sidelines. And now Jacques Malot on to attempt the PAT for the Wildcats. 6-0 A-West on top here. We will have flags now. So it goes against Horizon. That'll move a little closer for Malot. And that field is good. So the Wildcats take a 7-0 lead early in the ball game here at 5-Star Stadium. And now the Wildcats will have to kick it off again. They lead 7-0 early here in the first quarter. And they will put a high line drive kick down to about the 2. And it's handled by the Hawks, number 84, it appears to be. No, check that, 82. And that is, no, it's number 22. And that is Evan Philpus. And he gets a nice return out to the 27-yard line of the Hawks. And that's where they will take over now. First down and 10. Going the other way. So the Wildcats get a taste of the turf here at Five Star Stadium. Of course, they normally play on grass out at Jeffco. And the amount of speed that the Wildcats have, both on offense and defense, I got to think the turf is a big benefit for them. Kunkel hands it off to number 45, and that is Matt Simchick. And he gets it across the 30 to the 31. Beautiful night for football. Perfect weather. Just a little snap of fall in the air, folks. And high school football under the lights on Friday night. What could be better? Kunkel now thinks what could be better might be a first down as he goes to work on second down. Going to hand it off to Simchick again. And Simchick wrapped up as he crosses the 32. Looks like number 68 for the Wildcats. Casey Wyckoff got to him first there. So the ball right at about the 33. The Wildcats wait for the defensive signals from the sidelines. Here come Kunkel now and the Hawks. High formation. And they're going to pitch it out to number 22 again, and that is not much room to run out there for Philpus, and he gets it ahead to about the 35-yard line. Clock running here in the first quarter. A-West up on top, 7-0. And on fourth down, they will have to punt the ball. The Hawks will have to punt the ball away to the Wildcats. Snap a little bit low. Punt gets away, will go out of bounds. No, it'll be handled about the 30. That looks like Duran again. Duran tight ropes up the sideline. Another nice return, cuts it inside 45. Boy, great running up the sidelines, keeping his feet. And then cut it inside. So the Wildcats once again in great position to go to work for the second time tonight. And here comes the rest of the offense, including quarterback Steve Cutlip. Cutlip is the trigger man in Coach Dave Logan's pro-style offense. And I tell you what, the Wildcats will throw a lot of looks at you. And just right off the bat, here you see trips to the top of your screen. And they'll go with that wide open, 4 receivers in the pattern for Cutlip. Cutlip back, wants to pass. Cutlip, good time, good protection by the line. He fires, it's caught. Duran again. Duran bangs it out to, let's call it the 31. No, let's call it the 36. And a nice catch there by Duran. Great time on the offensive line for Cutlip to work with. A lot of times in high school, you'll see that they'll keep a couple of backs in to help block because offensive line play in high school is tough. The line's one of the last things that gels typically on a football team and plays together. But this is a senior-laden crew. They give Cutlip great time. This time trips will go to the bottom of your screen. Nelson alone back behind Cutlip. Cutlip ready to work. Got the ball at his own 36-yard line. Or at the Hawks 36. He's going to fire and caught. Again in the flat, Jeremy Craighead makes the catch. And Craighead takes a big hit but hangs on to the ball. Hit by number 56 for the Hawks, and that's Dustin Coleman. But Craighead does a nice job of holding on to the ball in the flat. Into the ball game, number 29 now for the Wildcats, and that's Jimmy Krako. And they substitute some other personnel in as well. They'll send Pyatt up top and Craighead to the bottom. Now they'll split the backs, Krako and Nelson. Bring Pyatt in motion. Cutlip wants to pass again. Cutlip looking across the middle. He's got a man. It's Pyatt. Pyatt catches it at the 21. Tackled almost immediately, but a good pickup again. there's a good look at the Wildcats in their purple pants and white jerseys. Of course, the purple helmets that say Cats on the side. Pike goes out of the ball game now as Cutler calls the signals, breaks the huddle. Here they come into the ball game now, number 81. Phillips for the Wildcats. He'll go way up top. And again, they'll stay with the split backs of Nelson and Craco. Cutler back, looking to pass, has some time. Boy, a lot of time. Now he finds the receiver. It's Nelson. Nelson, nice open field tackle by number 26 for the Hawks. Nguyen, and makes the catch at the 21 does Nelson. So the Wildcats pick it up right where they left off. They were in an offensive shootout with Mullen last week, and they can really move the ball. And they will send Twins to the bottom of your screen. They'll go a two-tight one-back set. No, they run the I formation now. Pound it out to Nelson. Nelson, not much room there as he was wrapped up in the backfield by number 65 for the Hawks. And that is Jeff Spetzler. And the band cranking it up here on a high school Friday night. They'll bring Duran back into the ballgame along with number 28. And that is... Well, he doesn't appear on our roster here, so we'll take your word for it. Cutler now, he'll send the receivers all over the place, open it up. Four of them out there in the pattern, lone back. As Cutler wants to throw, looking downfield, looking, boy, lots of time again. Fires downfield, has a man, it's caught, that's Duran at about the 6. Great job there. Tackled by number 49. Matt Blue for the Hawks. Of course, Duran made that catch there. Had his brother Matt was playing at Mullen High School, and now is at Cornell University playing ball. So some good football tradition there in the Duran family. Again, the Wildcats will spread it out. Boy, that formation is all over the field. Hash mark to hash mark. As Cutler ready to go to work. Cutler looking, fires, has a man. Going to get in. Touchdown! And that is Duran, I believe, as he gets it into the end zone. And puts the Wildcats up 13-0. We're in the first quarter here. And Duran, nice job. Back-to-back receptions. And gets the ball into the end zone. And that is the kick for the PAT. And the Wildcats up on top, 14-0. So the Wildcats will kick it off again as they have put 14 points on the board here at Five Star Stadium. And right now making themselves at home and taking it right to the host Hawks. Again, end over end kick spiraling, or end over end will be handled at the 5. Coming up field, number 22 for the Hawks. He's got some room to run. 50. Finally dragged down at the 45 is Evan Philpus. And he was tackled by Duran for the Wildcats. But boy, a big return, and that's the spark the Hawks needed. As, boy, down 14-0, they come back with a big return. And that's what I was talking about, how special teams can really make a difference. Boy, you get a couple of big plays on special teams, and all of a sudden your confidence goes way up. The Hawks trying to go with 12 men there. Oh, no, he's the ball boy. He will run off the field there. Maybe they're trying to sneak the old sleeper play in there. Kunkel will hand it off up the middle. That's Philpus. Philpus finds nothing but white shirts. Check that was number 45, Simchik. And he got back to the line of scrimmage. And not much else. Officials will take time out. I'm not sure about what might be having an equipment problem. They're looking at the clock. Maybe the clock is not right. Oh, it's one of the Horizon players tying his shoe. So now we'll wind the clock and get ready to go here. Here comes the Hawks now on second down. They'll send 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen, 1 man in the slot, 2 wides. Kunkel takes a look at the AOSD. Kunkel wants to pass. Kunkel pumps once and fires. It's caught. Nice catch by number 88 for the Hawks that time as he gets down to Eric Witherspoon. And he gets downfield. A whole bunch of Wildcats there on the tackle. But I believe it was Jeff Flora, number 5, leading the way. So Witherspoon, nice job catching the ball in traffic and heading upfield. Kunkel looks for the signals. You'll notice on Kunkel's wrist there, he's got one of those bands that lists different plays. And, a lot of times you'll see coaches signal a number, and then all Kunkel has to do is look at the wristband with all the plays written on it for him. And he goes with that one. So Kunkel, the I formation behind him, wide, stop, and bottom. Kunkel hands it off to Simchick. Simchick gets ahead for a couple. Boy, it is tough to run on the interior line of the Wildcats. Casey Wyckoff that time on the tackle, I believe. And, boy, those guys are solid up front. And as I mentioned, a good senior group that time. And as I look down the roster, they have some good size along that line. Every single one of those guys in excess of 200 pounds. Kunkel running option. Boy, did he get popped. Coming up to lay the lumber to him, number 12, Dan Overton. And number 99, Robert Wunderlich. And boy, Kunkel getting drilled. Welcome to the big time. And boy, good A West defense that time, but also good running by Kunkel. So the Hawks break the huddle. Here they come. Wide stop and bottom, that I formation again. Simchick and number 22, Philpus. And Kunkel will hand it off to Simchick. And boy, not much there. Wunderlich and Andrade, it looked like, on the tackle that time. Now Ryan Palmer, number 50, in on the tackle that time as well. So the Hawks moving the ball. They're in the A West territory inside the 20 at about, let's call it the 15-yard line. The officials still debating about the placement a little bit, it looks like. And they're going to take a measurement here to see if Horizon picked up the first. Get a good look at that interior D-line there as they wait for the Hawks. And here come the Hawks now. They'll have the ball at the A West 15-yard line. Kunkel wants to pass. Quick pass out there to Witherspoon. Witherspoon down to the 10-yard line. And Witherspoon runs right out of his shoe. And the coach says, stay in there. Get the shoe on, son. Got to go. And he will. Hawks rotate some personnel into the ballgame. Now they give Witherspoon a chance to go get his shoe on as number 47, Dustin Steinbach, comes into the ballgame. So the ball inside A West territory at the 10-yard line. Kunkel going to hand it off to Simchick. Simchick running up the middle and finding again nothing but white shirts. Boy, he get met in a hurry. And that time it was Wyckoff and number 50 Palmer leading the way. And actually, 79, David Borcher, first man there for the Wildcats. Ball at the A West 9. I got to say, if I was the Horizon Hawks coaching staff, I would abandon that dive play because, boy, the Wildcats have just stuffed it. That D-line doing a great job. So we'll go to the second quarter. A West on top, 14-0. So now we'll see if the Wildcats like the north end of the field as much as they like the south end of the field. It's third down now. Hawks have to go to the 5-yard line for a new set of downs. Kunkel rolling out. Kunkel looking. Kunkel pumps once, pumps, fires, caught. Boy, nice catch by Witherspoon that time in traffic, and also give a big heads up to Kunkel as he just threaded the needle. Oh, my. So the Horizon Hawks, after getting down 14-0, start the second quarter by getting the touchdown now. And number 17 for the Hawks, Aaron Tate, will attempt the PAT. And it is no good. So the score will stand 14-6. A West on top. They'll get the ball back when we come back. So as the Hawks get ready to kick it off, we'll remind you you're watching amateur sports video production of Arvada West Wildcats football 1997. And we're up here at Five Star Stadium. It's the Wildcats on the road for the second week in a row. Now the Wildcats have to call, the Hawks actually have to call timeout to get the right personnel into the ball game. Adam Cordova comes in for the Hawks. See the Hawks do this. They're one of these teams. They are. They bunch up around the ball and then make a break to it. Again, they're trying to get some kind of psychological advantage out of that. And the Wildcats pretty much don't seem to care. They're in their positions ready to go. Give us the pigskin and get out of the way. And I've seen a couple teams do this, and it's a very odd thing. The Wildcats, the Hawks taking a lot of time here. Now they break it. Here they come. I suppose there's some advantage on an onside kick maybe you get by having everybody huddle up and break at the last second. I don't know. And they will line drive it. It'll bounce around. Will be handled by one of the upmen for the Wildcats. He'll be swarmed under. It looked like number 26 for the Wildcats who came up with the ball, and that is Chet Bennett. And just kind of fell on the ball there. Chet Bennett come up with it, and the Wildcats and Steve Cutlip will go to work from there. Cutlip, of course, the senior quarterback, highly regarded as one of the top prospects in the nation, and obviously the top quarterback prospect in Colorado. He's got the size, 6'2", 193 pounds. He's got the arm. And now another wrinkle in the A West offense is they'll go completely empty in the backfield, put 5 receivers in the pattern. And Cutlip fires downfield. He's got a man. Boy, beautiful catch as Eric Nelson goes up high. Looks like Dr. Julius Irving skying for that one. Boy, Nelson really got up. Great physical effort that time by Nelson as he went up and hauled that ball in across the midfield stripe, and that is exactly what I was talking about. The Wildcats will give you so many looks, you know, and on that kind of a run and shoot type look, as they emptied the backfield, put 5 receivers in the pattern, and Cutlip had time to find Nelson downfield. So first down and 10 for the Wildcats inside Hawk territory at the 47. Cutlip ready to work. Cutlip rolling. Cutlip fires. Caught again. That's Duran this time across the 25. And I tell you what, Steve Cutlip did a great job that time of finding Matt Duran downfield as he was being swarmed under. And Duran did a nice thing too. The quarterbacks love. He saw his quarterback was in trouble. Came back to him. Gave him a target. Cutlip able to thread the needle and send a laser downfield to Duran. So the Wildcats come out after the Hawks score. And they're marching right down the field. They are on top 14-6. Cutlip with 4 wide receivers this time. Going to run the draw play, and ball's on the ground. Hawks get it back. Number 69 for the Hawks, Troy Lippold, comes up with the ball, and boy, Lippold looks like he's playing with a cast on his arm. Holy cow, look at that thing all padded up like that. I bet you broke his arm just playing with a cast. So first down now, as you get a look into the huddle for the Wildcats. And the huddle now breaks as they're ready to go to work here. Hawks have the ball at the their own 25-yard line. Kunkel, quick pass out to Witherspoon through his hands. So that was a quick pass out there to Witherspoon. Kunkel just put a little too much on it, boy. Kunkel was only about 8 yards away, or Witherspoon was only about 8 yards away, and Kunkel fired that thing like he was sending it about 200 miles down range. Second down now coming up for the Hawks. They'll spread the field a little bit this time. Wildcats showing blitz, and they bring it. Kunkel fires again. Witherspoon, the intended, no, check that. I believe the intended receiver was Evan Philpus, and he's not able to hold on to it either. Into the ball game, Jared Alvarado, and he brings the play, breaks the huddle, and he'll go out. Kunkel settles under center, takes a look at the A-West D. Kunkel fires downfield, and this time nobody going to get there. That time it was Witherspoon, the intended receiver, so that'll bring up fourth down, and the Hawks are going to have to punt it away, not able to capitalize on the big turnover. And you know, there's certain points in a ball game, in every ball game really, where the momentum and the ebb and the flow seem to go back and forth, and when you get a big takeover, a turnover like that, and not able to capitalize on it, boy, that just gives confidence to the other team. And A-West is brimming with it right now. Ball bouncing around on the turf, takes a roll the other way, will roll out of bounds. At about the 48-yard line. And the Wildcats will take over again. This time right at midfield at their own 48-yard line. So the score 14-6. A-West on top. A-West has the ball back. Cutler ready to go to work. And the Wildcats break the huddle. Here they come. So it's a single back pro style set here. And Cutler will get a flag. I think the Wildcats took too much time. No, the Wildcats actually guilty of illegal procedure, so that'll move it back to about the 43-yard line. And Cutler and the Wildcats ready to work now. Hawks show blitz. Hawks bring the blitz. Going to hand it off to Nelson. Nelson looks for some room to run. Nelson gets across midfield into Hawk territory at the 49. And Nelson really sees the hole well. He gets there in a hurry. Not a particularly big kid. 5'9", 155 pounds. But boy, does he run hard. And Wildcats rotate personnel in and out of the game. Wyatt and Craighead go out. And in come Story and Phillips for the Wildcats. Nelson remains as lone back. Cutler has the two tight formation. Cutler wants to pass. Cutler looking up that way. Looking. Rolling. Still looking. Now he fires downfield. Has a man. Bobble around. Incomplete. Okay. Ball incomplete. And the ball was bobbled around. And you saw the official up there waving his arms that it was incomplete. Now the Wildcats Exchange the personnel again. Boy, that is the thing about the many formations that the Wildcats run. They've got folks coming in and out of the ballgame, sometimes 3 and 4 per play. Now, the only thing that stays the same is the offensive line and Cutler. Everybody else is open to substitution at will. Cutler back, he's looking to pass, looking now. It's a screen pass set up to Nelson. Nelson across the 50, 45. Will get first down yardage and be driven out of bounds at the 40. And nice job because nice job on the screen pass there, because the Hawks the last couple times have just been pinning their ears back and coming on a bull rush. And that time the Wildcats let them come and then dropped a little screen pass behind their defense. Now the Wildcats come out with that 4 wideout set. Nelson stays as the lone back. Long count by Cutler. Pressure's on. Cutler will step up and avoid it. Fire it downfield. I think they say he was in the grass. Hyatt was the man he threw the ball to. They're going to call it an incomplete pass. Cutler stood up there and tried to get rid of the ball before the sack. Not able to do it. And the Wildcats will come out again in that same formation. Ball at the Horizon 40-yard line. Second down now coming up for Cutler. Long count again. Cutler looking to fire, and he does. Has a man open. Too tall for Hyatt, I believe it was. So that'll bring up third down now. So the Hawks defense stiffening up a little bit here. So the ball just inside the 40-yard line there, you see. And the Wildcats break the huddle. Here they come. This time they'll send receivers top and bottom. Cutler looking for a quick pass, going to swing it out to Phillips. Phillips bangs it ahead to the 35. I believe that is short of first down yardage. Right at it. So here they come now again, breaking the huddle. And it's fourth down. And the Wildcats going to go for it here. And that is exactly what I think the plan was. I'm not even sure the Wildcats had a play called. They were just going to come up there and try and get the Hawks to jump. And that's what the Hawks did. So that'll move it back downfield. And I believe that's good for the first. You can see the official signal there. Cutler will keep it himself, and he sneaks it ahead. The penalty didn't quite give him first down yardage, and that time he does pick up the first down as Cutler falls ahead to about the 27-yard line. First down and 10 for the Wildcats then, and they are on the move. They lead 14-6 here at Five Star Stadium. Another new formation here by the Wildcats. Cutler wants to pass. Has a man down there. He fires. It's going to be caught. No, incomplete. They said that Duran didn't get to it. He bounced it off the turf. Down on the coverage for the Hawks was number 34, Chris Osborne. And Duran not able to get to it. So again, the Wildcats shuttle personnel in and out of the ball game. Number 84, Craighead back in there along with Hyatt. They'll send Craighead and Pyatt opposite sides. Duran and Nelson, the I formation behind Cutlip. Now Cutlip has to take time out. Wasn't able to get his personnel in the right spot where he wanted them. So the Horizon coaching staff making some final adjustments there. And they'll come out of the ball game now, and we'll get ready to go to work here. Take a minute to remind everybody, Amateur Sports Video on hand, bringing you tonight's action. Cutlip with that I formation again, 2 wides up top. And Cutlip will hand it off to Duran. Big hole up the middle. Duran carries it down to the 15, across the 20 to about the 17-yard line. Boy, a big hole that time for Mike Duran. Duran, the 5'9", 160-pound sophomore, running back and defensive back. And that time he was the back behind Nelson in the I. Of course, the Wildcats last year had Will Rogers, who broke just about every rushing record the school had, I believe. Actually, I don't know for sure about the records, but he certainly had a ton of yards. And Will graduated, but they don't seem to lose much with Nelson and Duran in there, boy. Both of them can run the ball well. They're about a yard short of the first. So they'll get another crack at it. Again, you see wide receivers all over the place. That I formation is going to hand it off to Duran again. Duran, first man through. And he will carry it in. No, check that. That is number 29. And that is Jimmy Krako. And Krako gets in for the touchdown. First man through. And that puts the Wildcats up 20-6. Boy, a nice mix of the offensive pass and the offensively running the ball for the Wildcats. They really mixed it up. Now, the Wildcats do this weird thing, too, on their PATs. They'll send the whole offensive line over to one side, and some guys here and some guys there, and pretty soon you got folks all over the place. But they do eventually bring them all together, and this is the result. Point 21-6, A West. No, it's no good. Oh, I thought it looked good from our vantage point, but the man in the striped shirts say no. They're the only ones that matter, so it'll stay 20-6. A West on top here at Five Star Stadium. So as the Wildcats get ready to kick it off, we will let you folks know that at the conclusion of tonight's ball game, we will pick an MVP on both offense and defense. And those recipients of the Amateur Sports Video MVP of the Game Award will get extra copies of tonight's game tape. Again, a low squibber will bounce around on the turf. It really takes some odd moves as Philpus comes upfield with it. And not much there. Boy, good coverage that time by the Wildcats. Looks like number 24 hustling down there for the Wildcats, and that is Jesse Brannon. So Kunkel and the Hawks offense break to the middle of the field. They'll try and get something going. They trail 20-6 and have not been able to put together a couple of consistent series here. Kunkel will hand it off and into that Simchik, and he'll get it out to about the 24-yard line. Wunderlich on the bottom of the pile. I believe he was the first man there. And the Hawks send in number 21, Adam Cordova. And he's got the play, breaks the huddle, and here they come. Miscue on the snap. Boy, lots of bodies flying around. Dog pile there. Who got the ball? And the officials will have to dig into that mess of bodies and pads and jerseys. The Wildcats say they've got it. The Hawks, not sure. Hawks now say they've got it. Wildcats, Hawks, Wildcats, Hawks, Hawks. The Hawks get the ball back. So the miscommunication from center and quarterback ends up with not too much harm as the Hawks end up with the ball again. Okay, the ball is at the 24-yard line now. Third down coming up for the Hawks. And they will send 3 wide receivers up top. Lone back behind Kunkel. Brings some men in motion. Kunkel wants to pass. Kunkel rolling out. Kunkel's got some time. Now he's got some pressure. Steps up. Fires too high for Witherspoon. He was well covered downfield by number 10, Chase Campbell. And, you know, I'm not even sure that Kunkel wasn't beyond the line of scrimmage when he threw that thing. But good pressure again from the outside. Wunderlich and number 95, Adam Ulrich, had some good pressure on Kunkel that time. So the Hawks will punt this away. The punt will happen at about the 10-yard line. This is an end-over-end kick, and it will carry to Pyatt at about the 41. Pyatt heads upfield. Pyatt has some room to run. Pyatt turns on the jet. 30, 25, 10. Welcome to the end zone. Brad Pyatt, touchdown, A-West. Boy, a nice return by Pyatt that time. Got the ball and made one definitive move and then just turned on the jets as he went up the sidelines, made a little cutback, and into the end zone. 26-6, A-West up by 20 now. Brad Pyatt, nice return on the kickoff, or on the punt, excuse me. And the PAT this time is good, so that'll make it 27-6. A-West right now all over Horizon. So now we'll see if the Hawks can get up off the canvas here as the Wildcats have assaulted the scoreboard here with 27 points. Ball bouncing around, and it will carry into the end zone. We'll have a touchback for the Hawks, and they'll have the ball first down and 10 at their own 20-yard line. So Cutlip in the offense come out and get ready to, check that. The defense for the Wildcats come on out and get ready to go to work. And they break the huddle now as the Hawks come up. Kunkel stays at quarterback. First down and 10 at the 20. Fires down there. It's Witherspoon. Again, too high for Kunkel. Really showing some good arm strength. But, boy, he's firing those balls down there. A little hard to get a hold of sometimes. So second down now coming up for Kunkel and the Hawks. He breaks the huddle. Here they come. He'll have the I formation behind him. Wides to the top and wides to the bottom of your screen. Kunkel will hand it off, and I believe that is Philpus. He gets it ahead for about a yard. Now the Wildcats will take time out to talk things over. They lead 27-6. So whatever information the defensive coordinator for the Wildcats wanted to convey, he did, and we're ready to go to work now. Kunkel runs play action, has some pressure, avoids it, fires downfield, throws it incomplete. Witherspoon and number 83, Alvarado, were the only men in the area, but Kunkel too low on that. So that'll bring up a punting situation for the Hawks, and they have to punt deep from their own territory in again. And as we saw last time, the return guys for the Wildcats are the real deal, and you can make it happen from anywhere on the field. snap was low, bobbled around, whistled all over the place. I'm not exactly sure. The ball will take a big bounce. And finally be touched dead by the Hawks. Matt Blue at about the 43-yard line. So we're in the second quarter, 27-6. A-West on top, and now they're going to get a chance to go for some more. They'll send 4 wide receivers, trips to the bottom of your screen. Cutlip again, a long count. Cutlip wants to pass. Cutlip looking. Still looking. Now he's going to keep it himself. Breaks a couple of tackles and spins ahead for a good gain down to the 40. Tackled by number 69, Troy Lippold. And the Hawks have a player down. Nathan Ream is hurt. Off the field, but needs some assistance, and he may be hurt. Has a knee or ankle. So 4 wide receivers again for Cutlip and the Wildcats. And Cutlip ready to go to work. Brings Duran in motion across the formation. Have trips to the short side of the field now. And he's going to fire it out to Duran. Duran's got some room to run. Duran out near the 35 and tackle along the sidelines there. As the band breaks into the disco classics here. Holy cow. All of a sudden, everything old is new again, huh? Ball is placed at about the 34-yard line. The Wildcats spread the field again. They're going to run draw, hand it off to Duran. And Duran gets good yardage downfield. Boy, and that is one of the few places I see the draw play really work. I mean, that obviously was a passing situation as the Wildcats get it down to about the 29-yard line. But with his A-West offense, the way they run it, they pass, and then they come out in their passing formation and run draw. And it works well for them. Cutlip again, a long count there. Cutlip fires downfield. He has a man just off the fingers of number 81 for the Wildcats. Phillips, Junu Phillips. So that'll bring up second down. Cutlip had him, and Phillips just not able to get to the ball. So here we go now on second down. Cutlip will pass it along, the play along to his teammates. Break the huddle. Here they come. Cutlip again with that long count, looking to swing it out to Duran. And I believe they're trying to set up that screen again. This time the Hawks got there too quickly. And sniffed that play out pretty well. Cutlip really didn't have a chance. And he threw it right at the feet of Duran. So now third down for Cutlip and the Wildcats. Nelson is the lone back behind Cutlip. And they'll have the 4 receivers in the pattern. Boy, again with the long count. Cutlip this time on the draw. Going to hand it off to Nelson. Nelson, a lot of room to run. Turns on the Jets outside 10. 5 will he get in. Touchdown. Oh, boy. 33-6 now. As Eric Nelson on the draw play makes a nice move up the field and then outside to get into the end zone. And it's 33-6, A West all over the Hawks right now. PAT yet to come, and it's good. So your score now 34-6. A West really hammering the Horizon Hawks right now. Again, a low squibby kick bouncing around will be handled at the 10. And that is Witherspoon. Witherspoon is drilled. Boy, getting down there in a hurry. Number 20 for the Wildcats, Dirk Cisneros. And boy, did he drill Witherspoon. The Hawks will try and hurry up as we're in the waning minutes of the first half here. Wildcats on top, 34-6. So here comes Kunkel now, and he'll try and get something going, boys. It's been all A West, 34-6. Kunkel running option, makes a late pitch to Philpus, and Philpus gets a nice gain across the 35 out to about the 37-yard line. Flora makes the tackle that time for the Wildcats. But good gain by the Hawks. Hawks will go with I formation, wide, top and bottom of your screen. And Kunkel will keep it. Carries it up near the 39-yard line. Kunkel now on second down now. And he's ready to go to work. They're going to hand it off. Option. Kunkel's going to keep it himself. Cuts it upside. He'll be tackled by Flora. Now check that. Lucas for the Wildcats. And that'll bring up third down as he got out to about the 46-yard line. They're about a yard and a half shy of the first are the Hawks. Lucas gets the play from the sideline for the defensive signals, breaks the huddle, and here come the Wildcats now on D. And they got a lot of folks bunched up on the line. They're going to bring the blitz, and blitz it they do. Kunkel kept it. Got ahead for, I believe, the first down. So that's good for the first. The Hawks move the sticks. Got the ball out near midfield. And Kunkel wants to pass. He's going to fire it down. It's caught by Witherspoon after it went off a couple of players. Finally tackled by number 10 for the Wildcats, Chase Campbell. Witherspoon caught the ball, but he was not the intended receiver. It bounced off a couple of folks before it finally got to him. So the Hawks into Wildcat territory. Kunkel with trips to the bottom of your screen. Kunkel wants to pass that way. Fires, have a man downfield too long. Number 21, the intended receiver down there, and that's Adam Cordova. And he was covered by number 6, Brandon Wilson for the Wildcats. It's always important. You just see number 83 checking into the ball game. But you have your mouthpiece there. Drop it on that turf. You got to pick that up, put that thing in your mouth. Ball is at the A West 35-yard line. Kunkel wants to pass. Kunkel going for it all. Kunkel's got a man down there. Is it going to be? No, out of bounds. He had a man down there, but he threw it about 1.5 yards out of bounds. The intended receiver was number 47, Simchik, I believe. No, that was Dustin Steinbach down there, the intended receiver. Kunkel just put a little bit too much air under it and was not able to get it there. So again, Kunkel will bring trips to the top of your screen. Now they bring Witherspoon in motion. Kunkel rolling out. Kunkel has some pressure, avoids it, going to keep it, heads up the sidelines, and he gets popped. Oh, my. Jason Lucas really came up and put a pop on Kunkel as he was heading up the sidelines there. That'll bring up 4th down and about 4 yards to go. My, oh, my. Kunkel avoided the initial pressure, and I don't think he saw Lucas coming at all. As Lucas really brought the lumber that time. Put the wood right to Kunkel. So Kunkel on 4th down, going to run option, going to pitch it back to Steinbach. And he's tackled by Palmer. Great pursuit that time. So the Wildcats hold on 4th. They'll take over 1st down and 10 at their 27-yard line. Cutlip and the Wildcats a chance to put a few more points on the board before we go to half. Cutlip back, he's looking. Boy, he was hit right as the ball was as he was throwing, and that ball recovered by Elston Bowers. Bowers makes the heads-up play to fall on the ball, but Cutlip was hit as he was right in the motion of throwing. And that ball popped loose. We'll go to halftime. Wildcats on top, 34-6. We'll be back with second half action from Five Star Stadium. Welcome back, everybody. Second half action just about to get underway. The Wildcats visiting the Horizon Hawks. And it's been all A West, 34-6. And to add insult to injury, now the Hawks have to kick the ball off to A West to start the second half as well. Hyatt and Duran back deep for the Wildcats. They waited about their own 9-yard line. Actually, I think that's Nelson and Duran back there. And the Hawks will huddle and break. And again, a low squibbing kick will bounce around, handled by, over the head of Nelson. Nelson now will try and head upfield with it. 10, 15, ball's loose. Hawks got it. No, A West got it back. 97, Mason Stanfeld able to get the ball back for the Wildcats. And boy, that AstroTurf really makes that ball jump weird. And it went high and over and around, and Nelson just couldn't find the handle for it. So the Wildcats will start at their own 14-yard line. And Cutlip will bring the play in from the sidelines, breaks the huddle, and here he comes. Craco and Nelson will be the split backs behind Cutlip. And Cutlip needs timeout. timeout is over, and the Wildcats and Hawks have gotten things figured out. Again, split backs behind Cutlip, wides top and bottom. Cutlip wants to pass. Cutlip is looking. Now he fires. He's got a man across the middle. Ball loose, incomplete. Are they going to call that a fumble? They are. During the intended receiver, ball was caught and then knocked loose. They said fumble, so that sets up the Hawks in great position at the Wildcat 19. As the Wildcats come out to start the second half, and they bobble the kickoff, and then they turn the ball immediately over to the Hawks. And they've got a commanding lead right now, 34-6. But boy, you let a team like Horizon get back into this ball game, and it will be a dogfight. So Kunk will have the I formation behind him. He'll have wide stop and bottom as we are in the third quarter. A West on top, 34-6. But Horizon has the ball at the Wildcat 19, knocking on the door. Kunk will hand it off, first man through. And boy, not much there. Pile of bodies. Boy, the good job again by the A West D line. They just make a pile at the line of scrimmage, and there's not much of a hole there when the running back gets there. So Kunkel now second down, a little bit of a gain, about a half a yard. Takes a look at the Wildcat D. He settles, has the snap, he wants to pass. It's fired, incomplete. Intended receiver number 81. That was number 21, Adam Cordova. So third down coming up for the Hawks, and this would be a big stop for the Wildcats if they can get them to go out here. And, of course, we haven't seen a kicking game by the Hawks tonight. Where it is now, it would be a 38-yard field goal if they gain no more yards. Kunkel looking for some more now. Kunkel wants to pass, rolling out. Fires back into traffic. It's caught short of the first down. Good coverage there by number 5, Jeff Flora. So the ball is just shy of the 15-yard line. Fourth down now. See how the Hawks going to go for it here, and it appears they are. Now they're going to attempt a field goal here. Aaron Tate, number 17, will attempt the field goal. And it's low. No good. So the score will stand 34-6 as the Wildcats hold after the fumble. The Hawks come away with nothing. And A West ready to go to work again on offense now. Cutlip now with split backs behind him. And they're going to pitch it back to Nelson. Nelson heads upfield. Nelson's got the 25-30, heads up the sidelines, out near the 40. And he's finally driven out of bounds by number 69 for the Hawks, Troy Lippold. See where they're going to give Nelson forward progress to. Well, it's going to be a holding call against the Wildcats, so that'll wipe out a nifty little run by Nelson and back the Wildcats up again, deep in their own territory. Dern brings the play into Cutlip. The Wildcats transfer personnel out. And as the officials get the ball set, we'll remind you all, Amateur Sports Video on hand, bringing you tonight's game between Arvada West and the Horizon Hawks. This one's all been A West. 34-6 your score. We're in the third quarter. Wildcats backed up at their own 9-yard line now. Cutliff again with that long count. Cutliff looking to pass. Cutliff looking. Has good time. Now he feels some pressure. Now he keeps his feet and fires downfield. He's got a man that's caught. Dern at the 40, 45, 50. Finally wrangled out of bounds, but not until he gets into Horizon territory. And Dern might be shaken up a little bit there. He's a little slow getting up. Let's see. The officials will spot the ball at about the 45-yard line, I believe. Well, they're going to say that Dern got pushed out back around the A West 49, so that's where the ball will be placed. First down and 10 for the Wildcats. We sure hope that Mike Dern is okay. And it looks like he might have just been shaken up a little bit along the sidelines there. Chet Bennett checks into the ball game for the Wildcats then to replace Dern. They send receivers top and bottom. They go with that 2 tight set. They hand it off to Bennett. And Bennett plows his way into Hawk territory at the 48. It's called 47 actually is where they're going to spot the ball. So cutting up in the Wildcats, moving the ball again, already into Horizon territory after being backed up all the way at their own 9-yard line. And they're making a nice move of it. Now they're going to swing it out to Nelson. Nelson has blockers ahead of him. Watch out, this could be big. And Nelson had blockers, but it broke down fairly quickly for him, and he gets it ahead across the 30-yard line, it looks like. No, the 40-yard line, excuse me. And here comes Cutliff with the play now. Cutliff will break the huddle, and here come the Wildcats now. The ball is at the Horizon 37-yard line. Cutliff back, wants to pass. He's looking, got a man that's caught at the 25-yard line. I believe that's number 80 for the Wildcats, Damon Story. Story makes a nice catch as he got it at the 25. He was tackled by number 22 for the Hawks. Evan Philpus made the tackle, but again, another first down for the Wildcats, and they're moving the chains and moving the ball. Cutliff will settle under center. He's got the snap. They're going to run draw coming back from Nelson. This time, nothing doing. Number 76 for the Hawks, Angelo Tanner, made a nice tackle that time on the draw play. Didn't fool him. And Nelson was tackled about 1.5 yards or 2 yards in the backfield. So the Hawks trail 34-6, but still putting up a good fight. This one, as I mentioned, has been all A West. A West probably now will just try and chew up some clock, get another score here, and see if maybe they can't get some of their second and third stringers in there, get them a little experience. Second and 13 coming up as they lost quite a bit on that last one. Cutliff fires it down to Pyatt across the 20 at about the 18, wrapped up by a whole bunch of maroon jerseys there. It's almost all the starters still in the ball game for the Wildcats. They started this drive back in their own 9-yard line now. Now they're deep in Hawk territory at the 18-yard line. And it's going to be a swing pass, a swing pitch out to Nelson. Nelson, boy, got nailed right at the 20. Coming up again in a hurry, number 34 for the Hawks, and that is Chris Osborne. So this will bring up third down now, and it's still inside the 20-yard line at the 19. Cutler trying to direct some players into the right spots. And he'll have to hurry to get this play off. He does, and he wants to go down there. It's caught by Pyatt. Pyatt down inside the 10 to about the 8. Tackled by a whole bunch of Hawks, but I believe there was a flag up on the far side of the sideline, along the A West sideline. I'm not sure that the Wildcats got that play off in time. And it appears they did not, so that'll move it back, and the Wildcats will have to try it again. So the delay of game penalty goes against A West. That'll move it back. Let's see, it should move it back to about the 26-yard line. No, only to about the 24-yard line, actually. That'll bring a fourth down and about 11. The Wildcats are going to go for it here. They will put people in the pattern all over the place now. 4 wides. The lone back behind Cutliff is 28. Now they go with trips to the bottom part of your screen. Cutliff is looking that way. Cutliff fires a dart. Boy, had a man there, but not able to hold on. I believe that was number 80, Damon Story. So the Hawks hold and give the ball back to A West. That's the good news. The bad news, they're deep in their own territory again at about the 24-yard line. So Kunkel and the Hawks will go to work. Had a man, number 83, Alvarado. He's not able to hold on. He was covered by Willison for the Wildcats, so that brings up second down. As I look down the Horizon roster, not many seniors on it at all, so this could be a team to watch in the future. An awful lot of sophomores and juniors. So they might take their lumps this year, but watch out in the next couple, because this amount of kids playing varsity, they could be having a real good program in the next couple of years. Kunkel wants to run option. Kunkel wants to keep it. Kunkel across the 30, 35, 40, makes a good move, 45, 50. Still on his feet in A West territory at the 30. Is he going to go all the way? 20, 10, touchdown. Whoa, boy. The big guy, Barry Kunkel, 6'2", 165. Looked like some kind of crazed stork running up the sideline there, all arms and legs, but he got the job done. It makes the touchdown. The Hawks are going to go for 2, as it's 34-12 now. And Philpott is going to get nailed in the backfield. I believe that was Palmer who got to him first, Ryan Palmer. So Horizon comes up with a big play. And they get a 76-yard touchdown run from Barry Kunkel. And they are, if not back in the ball game, at least back on the scoreboard. 34-12. A-West still on top. But the Hawks showing some signs of life here. They're going to squib it down again, and it will bounce around. This time it will be handled by Duran. Duran looking for the handle. Duran turns it upfield. Boy, not much there. He got it back to the 17. And boy, that AstroTurf just makes that ball take some weird skips. This is AstroTurf out here at 5-star is about 5 or 6 years old. So it's starting to get pretty hard and pretty slick in some spots. They also play quite a bit of soccer on this ball. If you've never on this field, if you've never seen soccer on AstroTurf, well, that's something I see too, because that ball really moves in. So Cutlip and the Wildcats will come out after the scoring run by the Hawks. They've got a 34-12 lead. Now the officials want timeout. Get one of the Horizon players' equipment adjusted. And the Wildcats come on that pro set, split backs behind Cutlip. Cutlip going to the air. Cutlip fires, has a man, it's Nelson. Nelson catches it at the line of scrimmage, but slips down right at about where the 20 is painted on the field. And typically that's where you see the most slippery spots in the field, right where that paint is on the numbers and the yard lines, especially on older AstroTurf because it's been sprayed on a couple times usually. So the footing might be a little treacherous out to the outside of the hash marks there. Cutlip is going to run draw. Nelson, not much there. Boy, that was nicely sniffed out again that time by number 56 for the Justin Coleman for the Hawks. Did a nice job not buying on the fake for the draw play. Jeff Betzler might have been in there as well. So second down coming up, or third down actually coming up for the Wildcats now. The Wildcats need to put a bit of a drive together here. They don't want to give the ball back to Horizon, especially after Horizon just scored. And Horizon start getting a little bit of momentum going. Cutlip wants to pass. Cutlip will pass. He fires. It's caught. And he gets pushed back to the 25. Does Damon Story, I believe. And that's number 84, Craighead. Jeremy Craighead, and they give him forward progress for the first down. So the Wildcats move the sticks and keep the clock running here in the third. They're on top, 34-12. And the officials whistling it here. Sure, they might not have everything set after they move the sticks. Now they're ready to go to work. First down and 10 at the A-West 29. I formation behind Cutlip. And Cutlip hands it off to Nelson. Nelson finds some room to run. Gets across the 25. Make that to 35, actually. I'm sorry about that. And make it second down now. And Cutlip will break the huddle, and he will come out with that I formation. This time they will run play action. Rolling out his Cutlip. He pumps once. He might keep it himself. He will. Heads up field across the 40, across the 45. Finally out of bounds at the 46. So a nice gain by Cutlip that time. Looking downfield, didn't see anything open. Just tucks the ball up and heads up field. And he's got the size to do it. Got that real prototype quarterback body. Tall and muscular. Good vision of the field, too. So that I formation again is the Wildcats near midfield. The ball is at the 47-yard line. Cutlip fakes draw. Cutlip looking downfield, going for it all. He's got a man down. The jump ball going to be caught. Touchdown, Matt Duran. No, make that Brad Pyatt, number 3. Boy, nice ball. Cutlip threw that ball about 45 yards in the air and threw it up there. And Pyatt makes a great play on it. And that makes it 40-12. A West on top here. Boy, I'm just amazed by the arm strength of Cutlip. Boy, that was a great ball. Pyatt made a nice play on it as well. And then made a good run after he caught it. So the score now, 41-12. A West comfortably in command of this one. They lead the host Horizon Hawks 41-12. So it must have been a penalty called on Horizon. It looks like it's an unsportsmanlike because it's moved 45 yards. I mean, it's moved 15 yards up, so they're kicking off of the Horizon 45 instead of the A West 40. That must have been after the play. Maybe they got them for sidelines or somebody running their mouth a little bit. So unsportsmanlike conduct against the Hawks puts A West kicking the ball off at the Horizon 45. They'll put an end-over-end kick, and this will carry the end zone. So that'll mean Hawks have the ball at the 20, first down and 10 coming the other way. And of course, number 34 doing the kicking there, and he doesn't appear on our roster, so we apologize about not being able to get you his name. As you see Simchick carry the ball across the 20 there. Check that. That's Steinbach who carried the ball that time. Picked up about 2 yards. Got it out to the 22. Second down and 8 now coming up for the Hawks. We're in the third quarter. A West on top, 41-12. And that ball will fall incomplete. Pyatt on the coverage for A West. That'll bring third down and 8 now. And Kunkel and the Hawks wait for the call from the sidelines. And here come the Hawks now. They will have that split back behind Kunkel now. They put 2 wides out. Now they get the right people on the right side of the ball. Kunkel might have to hurry a bit here. He gets the play off. Kunkel wants to pass. Kunkel rolling out. Kunkel's going to get some pressure. Fires downfield. It's caught. Yes? No. Well, it's caught and then out of bounds. A flag comes in. That's number Blake Goring, number 18, the tight end on that side, caught the ball, and I think they're going to get A West. They do for a late hit out of bounds, so that moves it up to the Hawk 46. Gives the Hawks a first down, and Kunkel throws to the 40-yard marker. Unfortunately, there wasn't a receiver there. That ball might have, Kunkel got hit right as he threw that ball, though. And it might have not been where he anticipated going. Second down now coming up. Kunkel brings him up to the line of scrimmage. This time we send the receivers to the bottom of the screen. And Kunkel's going to run option. Ball's on the turf. A West has it. They get it back. That's number 99, Wunderlich, I believe. Robert Wunderlich makes a heads-up play and recovers the ball as Kunkel pitched it out, and it bounced right off the head of the pitchback and onto the turf. And so Robert Wunderlich makes that heads-up play, picks up the ball. So Cutlip and the Wildcats set up now in Horizon territory at the 34. First down and 10. And Cutlip will pass. Cutlip keeps his feet rolling and rolling and rolling, and now he will just turn it up and get out to about the 33-yard line before he's tackled by number 34, Chris Osborne, and number 76 for the Hawks, Angelo Tanner. So the Wildcats break the huddle and come up to go to work now. They'll have that too tight, too wide lone back with Nelson right behind Cutlip. They'll hand it off to Nelson. Nelson looking to get outside, turns it across the 30, keeps his feet at the 24. Check that, make that the 26 is where he went out. We'll go to the fourth quarter now. 41-12, A West on top. And the Wildcats driving again. And boy, this offense really has baffled the Hawks, as they really have not had a defensive answer all night long. The officials not quite able to get the chains where they want them. And now they do. Of course, we'll go ahead and remind you that we will be naming an offensive and defensive MVP. The Amateur Sports Most Valuable Player of the Game will get an extra copy of tonight's game tape to share with family, friends, teammates, classmates, church mates, any kind of mates you can find. And we will get extra copies of both of those to the offensive and defensive MVP for tonight's ballgame. Hyatt comes in motion. And Cutlip again with that long count. Cutlip will hand it off to Nelson, I believe. No, that's Krako. And Krako will get it down inside the 10. So first down and 10 at the Hawk 11-yard line. And actually, that was not Krako on that last carry. It was number 28. So Cutlip now ready to work. Runs, play action. Now he fires down there. It's going to be caught. And he will step by number 88 for the Wildcats, Ryan Burhorn. He steps out of bounds after a good pickup. So the clock running here in the fourth quarter, and A West on top, 41-12. The Wildcats looking for more right now, as Cutlip has got him down inside Hawk territory at the 11. Matt Sims, number 28, is the man who has carried that ball last time, and that is Brad Pyatt. Pyatt into the end zone. And it is now 47-12. And A West just having their way right now with the Hawks. And that one is good, so that'll make it 48-12. And it's all A West here, as they are really taking it to the Rising Hawks. So the ball carries down to number 69 for the Hawks, and that is Todd Lippold. And he was down at the 25. He just fell on the ball, kind of. That's where the Hawks will take over. First down and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the Wildcats will send in most of the second-string guys, and we'll try and get you some names and numbers here as we go. And Kunkel will hand it off. First man through. Gets out near the 30. And that's number 45, Matt Simchick. Picks up a few there. The clock is running 48-12. As the Wildcats well on their way to a big win tonight here at Five Star Stadium. And Kunkel ready to go now. And Kunkel hands it off. Simchick again. He gets across the 30 to the 34. You're watching Amateur Sports Video. And this is Wildcat football from 1997. Eric Robinson, the executive producer for Amateur Sports Video. And again, want to thank all the football boosters who have shown interest in having these games taped. And especially Matt Duran, who's made it possible for us to bring our video the first year. And Kunkel is ready to hand it off, and he will pitch it outside, actually, and he will get drilled. That's number 22, Philpus, and he is hit by number 59, Jason Groskopf. Actually, it's Gary Duran. And he's made Matt Duran, of course, we talked about Matt earlier, and his brother Mike now playing. So Gary Duran has been a big part of bringing the Amateur Sports Video crew out here to make these games possible. So the Hawks will have to punt it away. Ball now at the ball will be snapped at the 30. The punt will happen at about the 24. And a low line driver. Fair catch called for by Pyatt at the 38. And that's where he will, the Wildcats will take over. So first down and 10 at the 38-yard line. Wildcats getting ready to go to work here. And they lead it 48-12. New quarterback for the Wildcats here. That is number 18 for the Wildcats, Dave Wyatt. And he hands it off and picks up about 2 as they hand it off to Matt Sims. The Wildcats basically have substituted everybody on the offensive front there. Wyatt gets the play from number 82, Matt Morris. Wyatt breaks the huddle, and here come the Wildcats now. And That's Sims carrying the ball. He gets it out to about the 45-yard line. So Craco checks out of the ball game as the Wildcats send in a bunch more personnel. Wyatt bringing them up to the line of scrimmage now. They'll have the I formation behind Wyatt. And Wyatt will hand it off first man through. That's Sims, I believe. That's number 26 for the Wildcats, Chet Bennett. And the Wildcats now just trying to run out the clock, keep the ball on the ground, eat up some clock, and get out of here with a 48-12 victory. Well, we'll go ahead and tell you now that we have made our decision for the MVP defensive and offensive players of the games as the officials talk over something along the sidelines. On offense, I think we're going to go with number 3, Brad Pyatt. Pyatt had a great night, made a couple very athletic catches and touchdowns tonight, and Pyatt really a big part as well his efforts along the special team front. And number 99, we'll go with Robert Wunderlich. Wunderlich did a great job, good pressure all night long, and the D-line really, as you see Wyatt having a little problem getting the exchange from center there. But the D-line for the Wildcats really stuffed it all night long. Wakehoff, Borchert, Mayer, and Wunderlich did a great job. The Wildcat Hawks just really had nowhere to go most of the night. And the result is what you see up on the scoreboard right now, 48-12. So those two guys are the Amateur Sports Video MVPs of the game on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball. And they will get extra copies of tonight's ball game on tape so that they can watch it over and over and over. And Wyatt now ready to go to work right near midfield. Going to pitch it out to number 34 for the Wildcats. Check that. That's number 36, Chad Jones. And Jones got back to about midfield. And then they'll give him a little bit on the forward progress. So the Wildcats now will go on, and I think they have gotten rid of the cobwebs from the Mullen loss, and they will take a 48-12 victory. And they have to make the trip up I-70 to Grand Junction next weekend. And so that's 3 road games in a row for the Wildcats. They will try and go 2 for 3 on the road trip, as they will obviously get the victory tonight and then go up to Grand Junction and try and steal one up there as well. Grand Junction, of course, the 5A school, but it plays all the 4A teams because it's the biggest one on the western slope. And then September 27th is the big one. A West Bear Creek. Bear Creek is playing Cherry Creek tonight. The last thing we heard, Cherry Creek was mounting a comeback, but the Bears were on top. And that one should be a shootout out of Jeffco, as both A West and Bear Creek will get it on with obvious league and playoff implications on the line. That one should be a dandy. A West had their way with Bear Creek last year, but this is a definite Bear Creek team. That one will be a good game. And the Wildcats punt tonight for only the second or third time, I believe. Jeff Flora, the linebacker, is also the punter, apparently. He gets a good one. This one will carry down to the Falcon 8-yard line. And that's where the Horizon Hawks will take over. First down and 10 at their own 8. So right now what the Hawks are looking for is just to put a little bit of momentum together, get something going here so they can go ahead and get a good week of practice and get ready for next week and just try and put this one behind them, because not a lot you learn from a loss like this, especially when it's so one-sided. 48-12, my goodness. Kunkel hands it off, and of course the Hawks next weekend will be right back here at 5-Star to take on Thornton. So things don't get any easier next week either, as Horizon gets two of the better teams in the state back-to-back. And now the Wildcats have just about everybody into the ball game now. Kunkel stays in at quarterback for the Hawks. He wants to pass. Got a man down there. It's going to be caught. That's Witherspoon. Witherspoon out near the 29-yard line. And a flag on the play. The coverage by Tim Muir. Let's see what the flag's all about. Might have had a little extra pushing and shoving there at the end. The officials huddle there and converse. And that's what it is. A late hit on A. West. So that moves the ball ahead to the 44-yard line. And Kunkel and the Hawks will have three wide receivers up top. Kunkel wants to pass that way. Kunkel's got a man. He'll fire it down there. And it will be broken up. Good defense down there by number 24 for the Wildcats, Jesse Brannon. The intended receiver was number 83, Jared Alvarado, for the Hawks. Flag on the play. And this one, I believe, is going to go against Horizon. And that's procedure. So that'll move it back. And in the waning moments of the ball game, things getting a little sloppy out there. So Kunkel will bring the Hawks up to the line of scrimmage, and they'll try it again. And Kunkel obviously looking to pass. And he throws it too low. Boy, a couple receivers over in the area, but well beyond what either one of them could get to. So the Hawks and Kunkel will try it one more time after they come to the screen. High formation behind Kunkel now. He'll have splits top and bottom. And Kunkel will pitch it out to Steinbach. Steinbach gets across midfield down to the 45. Finally driven out of bounds by number 40, Ryan Howard. And number 55 for the Wildcat, who's not on the roster. So the clock continues to run here in the fourth quarter. Hawks trail 48-12. And like I said, just trying to get something going, get something positive out of this ball game. Kunkel wants to pass. Kunkel fires. And we're going to have pass interference. Dan Overton was the cover man for the Hawks, and For the Wildcats. And Blake Goring was the intended receiver. And they'll get defensive holding against the Wildcats. So that moves the ball into Wildcat territory at the 38-yard line. And now the Wildcats one time out to talk things over. Hawks ready to go to work now. New quarterback for the Hawks. That's number 7 in there. Blake Klunder, the sophomore quarterback. He will get to run out the clock. The Wildcats break their defensive huddle now. And up comes Klunder and the rest of the Hawks. High formation behind him. Ball at the 38-yard line. And Klunder will hand it off first man through. Good gain across the 35. And it's number 20, Chuck States. And States makes a good straight-ahead run. Pick up a couple of yards. Of course, right here is how you build your program. Give your younger guys varsity experience, and boy, it really helps later down the road. As Klunder and the Hawks hand it off to States again. States got ahead for a couple. So the Hawks will get another shot here at the 38. Not the 38, the 33 make that. Wildcats show blitz. They bring the blitz. Klunder has some pressure. Ball was knocked around, falling around on the ground, and I believe the Wildcats got that back. Number 59 for the Wildcats, Jason Grosskopf, knocked that ball down and then fell on it, I believe, as well. And so the Wildcats will get one more shot, one more offensive series. As Dave Wyatt, the 6-foot even, 150-pound sophomore quarterback, in to direct the ball game. That's got to be a pretty daunting task backing up Cutler. Of course, Cutler has been very durable over his career. But Wyatt getting a little bit of action here. Good run outside by number 38 for the Wildcats. Check that, make that number 36, Chad Jones. Overton, a sophomore, and he gets to learn underneath the tutelage of a guy like Cutler. And so next year when he's the man as the junior, all that experience will come back and play a big role. As I mentioned, that's really how you see your high school dynasties built. And that's getting those younger guys good playing time and getting a good mix of younger kids involved on the varsity level. And that's number 28, Sims. Sims bangs it across the 45. Good hard-nosed run in that time. And that will do it. This one will go in the books. 48-12, A West on top. And A West did it all. We will remind you folks that Amateur Sports Video will be on hand for the rest of the A West football season. And for Amateur Sports Video, I'm Matt Cook. We'll see you folks down the road. Hox is under center again. And same formation, split stop and bottom, one lone back. Long count. He may be trying to dry off the Mustangs. He's going to keep it. He's going to run option, trying to get to the corner. He's got it across midfield. Down to the 45 for his hit and push back. That's Mike Martinick over there. And Martinick strips the ball. No whistle. Mike Martinick is going to go all the way. Touchdown for...
Amateur Sports Video and Picture Company, the superior choice for professional and affordable video and photographic services for amateur athletes. Amateur Sports Video covers any sport from football to field hockey and can meet the differing needs of athletes, teams, coaches, schools, parents, and fans. Amateur Sports Video offers professional single or multi-camera coverage of any athletic event, from preseason scrimmages to championship play. Amateur Sports Video is expert at creating highly effective promotional videos for the talented college-bound athlete seeking scholarship awards. Amateur Sports Video produces fabulous highlight tapes for teams and individuals, perfect for banquets, ceremonies, and lifelong memories.
Ball is on the turf. James Jones has it. Jones is at the 50. James is at the 40. Up the sidelines. One man to beat will not beat Pal Woods.
Terrific individual action pictures are available from our still photographers, and our complete video editing and duplication services can meet any customer need. Amateur Sports Video works closely with parent groups, coaches, and schools to design and conduct highly successful projects. Professional equipment, fabulous service, and highly experienced people all guarantee total customer satisfaction. For all your sports, video, and photographic needs, contact Amateur Sports Video at 303-745-6045.
45-30, 20, one man to beat. Roman Hollowell is going to get in. Touchdown, Roman Hollowell!